All right, we're recording. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our How to Master Instagram. It is probably one of the biggest questions I get is how to use Instagram to build your business. And I want to teach you guys just some little changes that you guys can make that will make the biggest difference to your business, and how to really turn mindless scrolling on Instagram and just hours wasted, like it's a black hole and it sucks you in, how to take that time and instead use it to start building your business. And myself, this is how I have been able to make a full-time income, is primarily from Instagram. Yes, I have a Facebook, but I want to say 95% of my business comes from Instagram. And a lot of times I have new coaches come on and they're like, I want to build this business, but I don't want to share it. I don't want to post on social media. And there was a time, I mean, network marketing has been around for so many years before social media. So there was a time when, yes, people were building businesses without Instagram and without Facebook. I mean, I used to go to Tupperware parties and all those kinds of parties and makeup parties and everything. And, you would pick up the phone and chit chat with people and tell them what you're doing. And there were those times. But now with the way our lives are, first of all, when social media took over, everybody's lives went crazier. And it's hard for me to get on the phone with people, let alone to actually build a business that way. And most people already spend so much time on social media. So it is possible to do this without social media, but it probably in today's day would be so much harder to do that. So people just get scared to share. And I just say, like, you guys just have to rip off that Band-Aid. The first thing you do is you have to rip off that Band-Aid and announce what you're going to do. And I'm going to give you little tips and tools on how to do all of that as we go on. And I want you to keep in mind that what works for me might not work for you. You have to put your own spin on things, because you can't pretend to be somebody else, because then your audience will see right through that. So you have to put your own touch on it. But I'm going to go through some things that you'll be able to take away tonight and start implementing here forward. But you have to commit to stepping out of your comfort zone. You have to commit to using these tools and not caring what other people think, because that's really why people are scared to share on social media, is they're scared what other people are going to think. And it's really painful for me to hear that people are willing to put their dreams and their goals aside because they're more worried about what others think. And oftentimes we think about it a lot more than the other people do. Like when you post a post, that it's either going to stop their scroll or it's not. Okay. And we're all over here like, oh my God, what are people going to think? And often they don't even think about it. So I just want you guys to be able to rip that Band-Aid off, share your stories, share your journey, use these tips, use these tools, build your business literally from your phone. And it goes beyond just posting a workout and saying, I did my workout. It goes so much further than that, but it doesn't have to take hours and hours of your time. It's literally it's like a cycle of connect, engage. I'm trying to find the mute. Connect, engage, invite, and repeat. So you're finding people to connect with, you're engaging with those people, you're inviting them either to your challenge group or to the business opportunity, and then you're just repeating it. So I'm going to teach you how to connect with your audience that you have, as well as be able to attract new people to start those connections with. And it's essential that you guys start building your audience beyond from what you have today, and just growing and growing and building your brand, not Shakeology's brand, not Beachbody's brand, not MBF's brand, but building your brand using their tools. And that's the biggest game changer right there, because people are attracted to people. If you want to find somebody doing an MBF or find a coach that's doing MBF, you could just look at a hashtag and find somebody. But people want to join people, and you want them to join with you. And it's just little tweaks that we have to go about, because it's like taking like the feeling you get when you walk into a Kmart versus the feeling you get when you walk into a Target, right? It's like two different feelings. And I just want to take you from that good feeling to like that great feeling where you're like, yes, I love this feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like two different areas. It's not saying that it's bad, but it's just taking it to that great. And this is things that whether you have today 5,000 followers or you have 5 followers, I want you to start utilizing that because we all started somewhere. When I started with Instagram, I only had like 508, or started with Instagram, started with Beachbody. I only had like 508 followers on my personal Instagram page. And it's grown over the years, and it's taken time that I invest into it instead of sitting there and just scrolling, which I do. I want to engage with my audience, but also just tweaking little things here and there. So let me open up the presentation, share screen. All right. I'm going to get to this, but I'm going to do this at the end. Maybe I should do it now. Let's do it real fast. I wanted to show you guys. I should start with, but before we get to the basics of Instagram, real fast, can we look at our weekly Team Cup leaderboard? We have all the teams still rocking and rolling. Wait till you get to see how many points are on the board. Look at her new rank advancements for this week. We have Jenny Espinosa, Jenny Tillman, and Morgan Patton all hitting Emerald this week. And I already know that we have a few more that are locked in for this next week. So we're going to have some new faces up there. And look at all of these names. One, we have myself, Natalie Corona, Emily Green, Jenny Espinosa, Kelsey, and Christina Wood are all locked in for tier 1s. And I mean, look at all the names for our making moves this week. And then I want to remind you guys that we have our inviting like a pro, overcoming objections tomorrow night, and coach basics on Thursday. All right. So now let's get into what you guys are all here for. All right. The basics of Instagram. Let me get into the presentation mode. Come on, my slow internet. And it's taking forever to load. All right, the basics. 1, you want to make sure your account is public. Why? People can't find you if your account is not public. It doesn't matter how many hashtags you use. If they go to that hashtag, your picture, your video, your post is not going to show up there if your account is not on public, if it's set to private. 2, you want people to come to your page and see what you can offer them, see all these tips and tools that you're going to be giving them, all this inspiration you're going to be giving them. So if your account is not on public, it needs to be. And I know this is like there's like 2 parts to this that I always hear. 1, people don't want to share their kids. And I get that. I get that you don't want to share your kids. When I went public, my page took a big shift. And I share my kids. Everybody sees I have kids and everything, but I definitely don't share them as often. Before I was doing Beachbody, it was like every single picture was my kids. And so now it's like every 10 pictures is my kids. And I do take some precautions with that. I make sure that my kids know, like if we're going to dinner or something like that and I'm going to be taking pictures, I make them change out of their school uniform because I don't want the school uniform on there. I don't check in at their school. I don't take pictures with their school background behind it. There's little precautions I do make in that area. So I get that. You have to kind of do what you feel is best in this situation. But the other part to this is I always hear, oh, well, what if I make my separate business page? I can tell you my personal experience with this. I had a fitness page actually when I started because I was doing workouts, and this is how I kind of came across Beachbody. I was doing workouts and posting them on Instagram for free to kind of grow. And I had a separate Instagram. It's still there. It's Fitness Mom, I think is what it is. And it had 7,000 followers. So when I started doing Beachbody, I was like, oh my God, I have all these followers. I'm going to just start sharing all of my Beachbody stuff on this page and keep my private page private, which only had 500 followers. And I'm going to blow up because I have 7,000 followers. But the problem was, this is a people business. And when I started sharing my Beachbody stuff, nobody was engaging in it. They were following me because a lot of it was bots, and they're trying to sell their collaborations and all this stuff. And the other thing is, I wasn't a real person on there just sharing my workouts on this fitness page. They didn't see who I really was. Most of the people, if you're on this call and you've followed me or you've joined me because you've seen my whole life. Like, you see me with the kids, you see me with the crazy house, with the animals, with the this, the that. And when I was trying to differentiate and put fitness over here and my personal life over here, they didn't really see who I was, and they weren't really engaging with me because all they saw was workout posts and workout posts and workout posts. And they didn't see, oh, look, she's, you know, a working mom of 3 and she still finds time to work out, and They just saw, okay. So it was really hard to get those followers engaged with me. So about, I'd say like, well, when I have a long story with Beachbody, and I kind of like left for a year. I was here, but I kind of just like stopped working for a year and then came back. And when I did, I just started using my personal account. And that's when I started growing my personal account, and things started blowing up. And because I was sharing my whole life, like, how do you differentiate your fitness from what you do, from your whole life? So it was a lot easier for me to manage as well. Is it possible? Absolutely. It is possible. I've seen people have a private account and have a fitness account, and they would probably be the people to go to for tips on this. But I will tell you, I personally was stressed out trying to manage 2 accounts and trying to find that difference between the 2, and yet still try to be engaging with people, if that makes any sense. The other thing is to set your account to business. To do so, you must have a Facebook like page to link it to, because Facebook and Instagram are now owned by the same people. Is this imperative? No, but it kind of changes the algorithm a little bit for you. So they say when you use hashtags and things like that, it'll bump you up a little bit higher. You're easier to find in the search bar. There's just little things that help you with that. The downfall of that is it unlinks your personal Facebook from your Instagram. I didn't find it that big of a deal. The only thing that it really affected with me was that I noticed the stories don't transfer over to my Facebook page. But to be honest, I don't know, maybe it's just me. How many people go on Facebook and watch stories? I go to Instagram and watch stories. I don't go to Facebook and watch stories. So are people really going to be missing out? Your post also don't copy and paste over to your Facebook anymore. They would go over to your Facebook like page, but that's a super easy fix. You just copy and paste your caption and copy and paste your caption at the same time. So like, I double post. Every time I post something on Instagram's feed, I post it on Facebook's feed. The only difference is those stories. I don't find a huge difference in it because honestly, even if I put a story into Facebook, I don't see that many people watching it, because I don't think that's Facebook's platform, is the stories. Make sure your username is identifiable to you. So you don't want your username to be like cat mom, like, make sure it's identifiable to you. A lot of people say make sure it's your first name, your last name, or your first name. I wish, if you guys don't have a huge following, I'll tell you, I personally wish that mine was not what it is, and I had changed it earlier on to just like Tara Senna Fit or something like that. I feel like I'm too far in now to change it. I feel like people might lose who I am if I do. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. But if you're early on to building your Instagram, change it now and make sure it's something that is identifiable to you. Make sure your profile picture is clear and a close-up of you. We're going to get a little bit more into that. Make sure your bio is not Beachbody descriptive, but you descriptive. You don't want people to come to your page and see Beachbody coach, Shakeology dealer, here's my website to order, because if they go to that page, they're going to look at it and go, oh, if I follow this girl, she's going to try to sell me something. I'm not going to follow her. So make sure it's identifiable to you. Cat lover, wine lover, cheese lover, I don't know, whatever you want, trying to balance a life somewhere between chaos and coordination, whatever you want to put in that description. Fitness coach, you can put things like that, but don't try to brand Beachbody too much, because people might go to it and just automatically be turned off, because maybe in the past people have approached them in their messages and other Beachbody coaches and tried to sell them things. So and plus you want to brand you, period. Brand yourself, period. We get one link in our Instagram bios, only one. So there is this cool little site called Linktree that you can create a link, and then when you click, it'll give you your own Linktree. Typically it's, I think, just your Linktree / your username, your Instagram username. You have to go and set it up. But when you click that, then other links will be able to show up. And I recommend having a coaching application and a challenger application in there. How I do it is through Google Forms. I'm sure there's other form sites out there. Google Forms is super easy. It's connected to my Gmail. As soon as somebody fills it out, it sends me an email so I know to check in with them. You can go, if you want to go to mine and copy and paste the questions that I ask, feel free. It takes like 5 minutes to set up. You plug that in there. The reason for that is when you're doing inviting in your stories or on your posts, you can tell people, go to my link in my bio. And it takes them right there. If you put your Beachbody site there, they're going to go to that. But if they already have a Beachbody account and they sign up right there, their old coach is getting credit for that. You're not having any conversations with them, that you're not discussing challenge packs with them. They could go there and just sign up for the free trial and miss out on a promo code or a sale. You want to have those conversations. So I suggest doing a coaching application and a challenger application in that link. And you can put other things as well if you want. Profile pics. So make sure it's bright, it's clear, not blurry. Sometimes you'll see pictures and you can't even tell if there's a person in it because they're in like a black background and it's super dark in there and you can't really tell. So make sure you pick a picture that is bright, clear, not blurry, close up. So you don't want like a family picture from Christmas 5 years ago of your whole family around the Christmas tree and you can't tell what's what in the picture. Only you, not a Snapchat filter, and representative of you. Another thing, you don't want a picture of like your dog as your profile picture. You know, you don't want a picture of you know, something where you're all like on, I don't know, a scenic background as your profile picture. Make sure it's something of you. You can be in it, but you don't want like those big broad pictures. You want people to know what when they come to your page, what they're coming there for. These are some recommended apps. These are the apps that I personally use. Of course, there's plenty others, but I want to just show you what I use to kind of get all of the job done. For photos, I love Lightroom. Lightroom is a little bit more complicated because you have to use presets, which you have to purchase or get and then apply to your pictures. Or you can just sit there and manually adjust contrast, lighting. I love it. I find it fun. It's very like, it brings out like the artistic creative side in me. I get to play with the colors. That's what I personally use. There's other things, there's other apps that you can use for photos, but I like that one because if it's a dark picture, you can bring out the lighting. You can bring out certain colors. You can tone down certain colors. Other ones that I have used in the past are Snapseed and PicMonkey. For videos, I use just Triller and Splice. Triller is like, it's a social media platform. I guess it's kind of like TikTok or now Instagram Reels, where you put the video together and it makes like a music video. I like it because it's super easy. TikTok takes me hours. I played around with Instagram. Oh, I think I just froze. You guys see me? I froze, so it usually means my internet's like blotchy. So Triller, I like it personally because it's a lot easier for me to use. I pick a song, I record a few clips of my workout, I push shuffle, boom, there's my video. Splice I like to use if I want to speed up a video, slow down a video, crop a video, put two videos together. That's kind of what I use Splice for. I like to add quotes to my page. Like a funny quote I usually do it like every 5 pictures. I'll put a funny quote in. I use WordSwag for that. You can use WordSwag over a picture of your own, or they have stock photos in there. I like to use the same font every time. I'm just telling you what I do so that there's like a uniform to it when you go to the page. So I like to use WordSwag. Canva is my other thing. These presentations, everything I use in like my stories are from Canva. If I make stories, like a progression stories inviting to MBF, I can share it with my team and they can plug in their own pictures on Canva. Canva, I like it more for the computer than I do the phone. The phone app is slow and sometimes glitchy, so I like to use it from my computer. Photofy is another one that's great for adding fonts, stickers, and stuff like that onto pictures. Other apps that I use are Plan or Planoly, I guess you could say, and that's to plan out your posts. I'm going to go into this a little bit more later. Again, Canva for presentations or anything along those lines. PicCollage and Live Collage are the ones that I like to use when I'm doing like before and afters and stuff, when I have to put more than one picture together. All right, make it valuable and make it appealing. So first, make it valuable. Are you providing value to your audience? If they come to your page, are they going to get something from it? Whether it's a feeling, inspiration, humor, tips, people want to know what's in it for them. That's the society we live in. What is in it for them? If they're going to follow you, what is in it for them? So you have to provide some sort of value to your audience, whether it be recipes, workout tips, maybe your favorite move of the day, parent tips, travel tips, funny quotes. People love like funny, just a good laugh. But you want to also give them an opportunity to engage and ask questions as well. So giving them value to your page, hey, check out this recipe. Do you want to see, for chocolate avocado brownies, do you want to see more sweet hacks or something like that? Like giving them things like that. You want to make it appealing. Does your page give positive vibes? Is it aesthetically appealing? Does it flow? Do you think before you post? Do you have a pattern? And what I mean by all of that, like positive vibes. Guys, I know life can be crappy sometimes. Don't take it out on your page because that's a quick turn off for people. If you're always like negative Nelly on Instagram, it's a turn off. I know it's a turn off for me. I unfollow those people, mute those people. I don't want to hear people just complaining and griping all the time. So you want to have those positive vibes. Is it aesthetically pleasing? I use Emily's Instagram clip right here. Hers is aesthetically appealing. Like if you go to it, it's a nice page. She puts a lot of time and effort into that, and it's very flowing. Do you think before you post? I think sometimes we're just so eager to post something that we don't notice, hey, look, there's 2 pictures of me wearing the same shirt flexing right next to each other. Like we don't think about it. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about planning your posts ahead. Do you have a pattern? I mean, I'll show you my pattern. I said I post quotes like every 5 pictures, I'll post a quote. So that way the quotes are all in line and it's not too much words in there next to each other. But think about if you want a pattern, you don't have to have a pattern. But just try to not put like 2 quotes next to each other, then no quotes for a month, and then like 5 quotes next to each other. Space them out. So how to add value behind your post or purpose behind your post. This is Ashley Molstad. She's one of the top coach. She is the top coach for the last 2 years. And I mean, you can read, I'm no longer interested in, like, it's a post about her cellulite and saying like, I don't care. Like I love my body and I'm happy with my body. And that's a huge inspiring post. Okay. Like people read that and they're captivated by it. They want to read more and they're like, wow, that's so true. Like we should all love our bodies. So think about it. Is there a purpose to your post? Is there value behind it? Is there a reason for it? Just think before you post, like what is it that you're trying to get across? And sometimes we're like so quick, we have a picture that we love and we want to put it up, but I don't know what I'm going to say about it. Or we have a thought come across, but we don't have a picture for it. It's okay to wait until you get the 2 together and really think about what it is that you're trying to get across before you post it. We always say to post daily because that keeps your engagement higher on Instagram. That keeps you better in the algorithms. However, if it's going to be crap that you're posting, just wait on it. It's okay to miss a day or 2. Know your audience, aim to give them a good value, tip, favorite product. People love favorite products, guys. If you find something you love and you share it, and I mean a shampoo, coffee, whatever it might be, if you find something that you love and you share it, then people are like, oh, thank you for trying. I want to go try that too. And yet we're still scared to share about Beachbody. But I mean, think about it. That's what people love. I remember when I started drinking nitro coffee, and I see some of you guys on here that have tagged me in your posts, and they're like, oh my God, I got to go try this nitro cold brew from Starbucks. Like, people love that stuff. Recipes is another one people love. I personally suck at cooking, so this isn't something that I do, but it's great. People like to be able to follow things. A good laugh or just plain inspiration. And then save some stuff for your stories. Hold on, my dog is snoring. Zoe, go. So you're snoring away. All right, tell your story. Your life is a series of stories. Tell them. Think of your Instagram as a book. Share your chapter or chapters of your past that led you here, and how you got here is what you really want to be able to share. And I'm not just talking fitness. I'm talking life, business. Of course, there's going to be some areas of your life that you don't feel comfortable sharing, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But as for fitness, business, and just anything that you do feel comfortable, tell people how you got from A to B, or how you are getting from A to B. People are not so interested in the what, but in the how. How did you do it? I want to do it too. Capture the audience's attention and have them wanting more. That first line when you're writing a caption needs to be like a scroll stopper caption. More so than the rest of whatever you're going to write. But I can tell you what, like turnoffs. If you write warning, long post, most of the time people aren't going to read that because they're like, well, I don't want to read a long post. You know, so capture them, just skip that part and get straight to the point. Tell them what it is that you're getting into and leave them captivated and wanting more. Here's one from Bonnie Engel, another one of our top coaches. And she just started with, I actually still remember the gray suit and blue tie with diamond shapes on it Andrew was wearing the day he walked into the house 9 years ago and said, I got laid off. She's telling a story. And guess what? Makes me want to read more, right? Like you hear that and you're like, oh, okay, what happened? What happened after he got laid off? There's actually an amazing speaker called Kendra Hall. She did a whole art of storytelling call in our Beachbody Champions page if you want to hear about that, but it talks about how to capture your audience and really get your point across in your captions and attaching pictures to that, because people relate to stories, the good ones and the bad ones. Especially like those pain points, when you tap into those pain points, like that's a pain point right there. If somebody's gotten laid off, they're like, oh, wow, but how did she overcome that? And that's what they want to know, how you got through it, how you triumphed through it. So stop sharing so much of the what and share the story behind it. And this is a big thing because I think it's so easy. You know, we say, oh, share your workouts on social media, share your journey, share your fitness journey. And oftentimes we'll see like somebody post just like a sweaty selfie and be like, workout done. And instead of saying that, say what happened, what led to that moment. Maybe you were up all night with a crying baby and you didn't want to work out. Maybe, you know, you have been feeling unmotivated and something triggered some motivation inside of you. Tell the story that led to that instead of just putting like workout check. Okay. Every once in a while, you don't have to tell a story with everything, but if you really have like a good picture that you want to attach it to, share the why behind it, share the how behind it instead of just sharing what happened. Let's see. Be colorful. So the key is the key to standing out and highlighting who you are and the stories of your life is to be colorful. And I want you guys to, you don't have to do it right now, but I want you guys to think about what are the things that you're going to share on your Instagram? What makes you, you? And this is going to look different for everybody, but what is it that makes you, you? Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's your role at home. Maybe it's your hobbies, your interests. Everybody has something unique. Even if you don't think you do, everybody has something unique to them that will make them stand out. So I want you guys, I'm not going to do it now for the sake of this call getting too long, but I want you guys at some point tonight, and maybe in the group, you guys can drop your wheels and just write down some words that describe who you are and what you feel comfortable sharing with social media. Okay, now I want to get into the fun part, how to make it visually appealing. This is what I was saying, just taking it from good to great. From taking that feeling that people get when they come to your page from, oh, this is just another fitness page to, oh, wow, this girl is really amazing. First and foremost, your quality of your pictures. And I think it was Kristen that posted this earlier in our Team Cup group about being a scroll stopper. We're in the habit of just going like this, guys, and just scrolling through Instagram. And you want to be that one where somebody goes and looks down and is like, whoa, what's that? And wants to read more. Okay, and how do you do that? You don't do it with dark pictures. You don't do it with blurry pictures. You do it with good quality pictures. And it doesn't take much to change the quality of the picture. I'm going to show you one of my little hacks. Especially when I first started and I was working out at 5 a.m. and I wanted to take sweaty selfies. It is a $5 Amazon ring light. This was it. Now I have a bigger ring light, but because my house is super dark. But this was it, and it changes the whole lighting of pictures. And you can snap it onto your phone, and you can take pictures this way. I even have, because I don't really use this that much anymore, my cell phone has a light on it, and it has a selfie light. It's a case. It's called Lumi. And so even, because everywhere my house is dark, I have a light to take pictures because it's huge. Lighting is huge. And if you are standing the wrong way, it goes from either you being completely dark or you being completely bright and lit up in a beautiful quality picture. It also does help as well with making sure it's not blurry. If you're standing in front of a light, you're pretty much going to be blurry. So you want to pick pictures that the lighting's good, it's clear, it's not blurry, the angle of your pics, free of clutter. You guys, I took a picture earlier tonight and posted it on Instagram, and I wanted to showcase, like, this is real life, but there was way too much stuff on the cabinet behind me, and so I just kind of pushed it off to the side. It took me like 2 seconds, just kind of like pushed it off to the side, and then pushed it right back after the picture. It's super simple stuff like that, but it changes the whole, it was colorful stuff, and it would have just drowned out the whole picture. It would have taken away from the whole picture. And if you have pictures that you want to post that are not the greatest, you can do what's called a carousel with other pics. So when you're uploading on Instagram on your feed, you can actually upload up to 10 pictures. And on there, you can put pictures behind what is going to actually be the scroll stopper in the front. So put that high quality one in the front, and then put the others that you really want to share behind it. I use that personally when I do videos. I'll share videos on my Instagram, and because I have presets on all of my pictures and I can't do that to the video, I put a picture in the front and then I put the videos behind it. Another good thing about the carousel is it keeps people on your page longer, and that boosts up your algorithm as well. I also, little tips that I would do, stay away from the collages on your actual feed. They're great for your stories, but stay away from actual collages on your feed. It starts to look a little bit too cluttered. Stay away from too much wordage on your pictures unless you're going for that like across the board. I've seen it work great in those terms, but those stickers, like the stickers that you put on Snapchat filters, like stay away from things like that on your actual feed that just kind of take away from the quality of it. So I told you about the light. I also want to tell you about the timer. Some people don't know about this. On iPhones, and I'm assuming every phone now, you can set a timer on your camera so not every picture has to be an actual selfie with your arm in it. You can just prop your phone off on something. I have a pop socket that I literally just hook on things all over the place, and this is how I take 99% of my pictures, including like family pictures, even the pictures of me with the kids. 99% of the time, it is my phone propped up on something with the self timer and a selfie light. Okay, so quality of pictures. Presets is like a fancy way of saying filters, but it's not really covering up anything. Presets changes the exposure, the contrast, the coloring. It doesn't really put a mask over it. It just makes sure, and if you see here in these pictures that I shared from, I think this is Emily Folster's, how do you say it? Emily Folster's page. If you look at her pictures, they're all kind of the same browns and whites popping through with a little bit of some pinks in there. That's because that's the preset she uses. So every picture she uploads into what's called Lightroom. It's an Adobe app. It's a little more confusing. I'd have to go into a whole separate training on that. Actually, we have one, but it just creates that fluidity along your page. It makes the difference between a good photo and a great photo, because if you're dark in a picture, it's okay. Like sometimes I take pictures, I'm like, ooh, that's not the greatest picture, but you throw it in Lightroom, you adjust the exposure up a little bit, and you're like, wow, I came to life a little bit. So it's amazing what it can do when you put it across a whole bunch of pictures. You don't want to be changing your presets too much. So if you change it to a preset, keep that preset for like quite a few pictures, because if not, it'll start making your page look a little choppy. My kid. Plan ahead. Okay, so I told you in the apps that I like to use an app called Plan, or there's another one called Planoly. And what I do there is before I upload anything to Instagram, you guys might think this sounds like a lot of work, and it literally takes 2 seconds. I upload the picture to Plan, and I make sure that it flows with what I have there before I actually post it to Instagram. And you can post it from there to Instagram. You can even schedule, let's say you're a busy mama and you don't have time to schedule posts during the day because you're at work. You can schedule it to go straight to Instagram at 3 o'clock tomorrow or whatever. I have never used it for that. I just look it up and make sure that it looks appealing, because sometimes I'll upload a picture in there and I'm like, oh wow, look, the picture that it's right above, I'm wearing the same clothes, or I'm in the same position, or you know, it's the same workout post, or it's the same food post, or it's the same quote, or whatever it might be. I'm like, oh, it clashes. So let me put another picture in before I put that one in. And you can kind of like play around like a puzzle until you get the right aesthetic appeal. You don't feel like, oh my God, this was today's workout, I have to post this workout today, or else I have to save it for a throwback Thursday. Nobody knows. Half of my pictures are a day, 2, 3 days later than they actually are taken, just because that's my life. I'm like a week behind on everything. But it helps. It helps also make sure your page is flowing. I also like it to save pictures that I have had in the past, but I'm like, I don't know what to say for this picture, you know? It's a great picture, but I don't know what to say. So I'm going to save it in my Plan app. And when I need like a filler picture, or when I come up with that perfect caption for it, it's there and I have it, and I remember to post it later. And vice versa. If you have a great thought and you're like, I don't have a picture for it, you guys can go and find those pictures, or even create those pictures for that. What else? Let me see what else. I talked about the carouseling of pictures. Another tip that I like to do when I use before and afters, I like to take the borders out of it, so it looks like one picture in there, because if you put it onto Instagram, then you have like so many borders and it just looks weird, because Instagram kind of puts a border around their pictures as it is. Little things like this. Let's go. Food pictures. I am the worst food photographer, which is why you won't see many food pics, but I know so many of you guys love cooking and love sharing your amazing meals, which you should. If I could cook like some of you guys do, I would be sharing them too, but mine look more like this. On a paper plate, like, I don't even know, dog food. So I can't share my food pictures, but this is, going back. This is kind of just showing you how to take a food picture and make it great. And people love them. If you attach recipes, here you go with adding value. People love food, easy, simple to follow recipes. I personally can tell you, I save tons of food recipes that are straight to the point and super simple with things that I already have. Because if you go to Google and you type in recipes, I hate this, guys. I go to recipe pages and I have to scroll for like 5 days to find the actual recipe. So I actually find better ones on Instagram from just people sharing something like this and being like, super easy recipe. This is how I did it. Boom, boom, boom. But take good lighting. You can use this and light up your food. Good angles from the top, from the side, whatever it might be. Color. I mean, these are colorful pictures. These are not. These are dull. Not very good lighting, not very good colors, paper plates. So avoid the paper plates, avoid stuff all around. Like how hard would it be to move something like this out of the picture, this out of the picture, put this on a plate like this and light it up a little bit. I'm sure it would look 10,000 times better. So, little tip for food pics. Instagram stories. This is where everything that is not for your feed to go. So if you want to talk on the camera, I mean, you can do this on your feed too, but if you want, you know, to show your workout posts every single day and you don't want it on your feed every single day because that'll get very monotonous, you can post it all in your Instagram stories. Use the tools that are given on our Instagram stories. So if you go into IG stories, you're uploading a picture. If you swipe up on that picture, it's going to give you music, GIFs, stickers, all kinds of things to add to it. It's also going to give you engagement tools for your audience, such as polls, questions, and those are great ways to get people responding to your stories, because Instagram doesn't know what you're asking them, but they know, hey, 80 people just checked yes on this girl's story, so let's boost her story up. Great ways to do that, and it doesn't have to be fitness. You can post, you're at the store, which leggings do you like better, A or B, and just put a poll there, A or B. Or one I was doing, I was redecorating the kids' room, and I put a question up and asked, does anybody have chair recommendations or where to buy chairs or something like that? And it gets people commenting on it and boost your stories up. And people love to comment on stuff like that. Share daily life in your stories, guys, like not just fitness. And this goes back to when I was talking about having a business page and a fitness page, or a business page and a personal page. Like, where do you differentiate the two? This stories is a great place to just share all the stuff that happens in between. People are intrigued. Hey, this mama gets up at 5 a.m., works out, and then does all this crazy stuff with her kids that she's showing, and she still is making time for herself every single morning. Like, that intrigues people, whatever your story might be. Share your daily life every day. Be consistent. If you don't share on your stories for 3 or 4 days, it's going to drop you. That algorithm is going to drop you back, and you're not going to pop up in people's stories as much. Talk to the camera, you guys. I can't say this enough, and I know people get so scared about it, but that's where they see who you really are. If you stutter, if you screw up, whatever, that's you. Be quick, be to the point, know what you're going to talk about before you talk to Instagram stories. So don't come on and be like, so I'm bored today. My dog's over there snoring, and like, that's not that. They're going to tap right through that. Be quick and to the point. You guys, oh my God, I just did this workout. It was amazing. Look at all this sweat. Stuff like that is what captures people's attention. Quick and to the point. Bring that energy. If you have to take a shot of Energize before you go onto Instagram stories, do it. Let's see. Keep it growing. You guys have to keep it growing. Even if you feel comfortable where you're at, like, I have enough conversations and I feel like I have enough people to reach, you still want to keep it growing. Why? Because the people that you start connecting to today could be your customers and your coaches of next month or the month after. You want to be engaging with all kinds of people. So like I said in the beginning, connect, engage, invite, reach, and you just kind of go in a cycle of that. Can't find out who's muting or who's not muted. You just want to go in a cycle of that. Connect, engage, invite, and repeat, and find new people. So how do you find new people? How I find new people is I go to pages, places, and hashtags that are similar to me. So I might go to a mommy boot camp page and see who is connecting with that mommy boot camp page from down the street, who's liking those stories or liking those pictures, commenting on those pictures, who's following that page, not who they're interacting with, who's interacting with that page. Athletic wear. I like certain athletic wear and certain brand shorts and things like that. I'll go to those pages and see who's connecting with that. If you're into camping, find some camping pages. If you're into hiking or biking or swimming or spinning or I don't even know, Zumba or whatever your hobbies, painting, art, fishing, whatever it might be. Find pages or places or hashtags that are relevant to that, and go through who is engaging with that. And what I do is, so I'll go to a page, maybe it's a fit mom's page that does a bunch of workout videos or something like that. And I'll go to one of her workout videos with her and a kid, and I'll see who's commenting on that picture. And I'll go through each person that commented on that picture, and I'll look at their profile. And I'll see if they kind of like fit my vibe, you know, like, oh, okay. I'll see if they have posts. If they have 0 posts, I'm like, okay, this person's like never on Instagram. Not my kind of person. I need people that are like on Instagram, that are going to see what I'm posting, that I'm going to have stuff to engage back on them for, because that's how I don't just go in for the kill and be like, hey, want to join my boot camp? I like to engage on their stuff. So if they have 0 posts and 0 stories, they're not giving me anything to engage on. So I like to find people that are similar, have similar interests. I go through their through their page and kind of like screen them. I'm like, are they a good candidate? Are they somebody that I can, you know, vibe with, that I could totally relate to, that I would like to get to know, that you know, whatever it might be. And then I comment, and I follow them. And I don't really ever go straight into Beachbody with anybody. I personally don't. I start liking, commenting, and engaging on their story. So as I'm following them, I start to get to know them. And eventually the conversation will circle back around to, what is it that you're doing? I saw you said something about a boot camp. Or, oh my God, I saw your latest post. That looks great. You know, eventually it'll circle back around. But I just sit there and connect with these people. I love connecting with new people. I don't like getting out of my house. So Instagram is the perfect place for me to do that. And that's how I find new people. Even if pages are on private, you can get a good gist of who they are by looking at their bio, at their description. And also, it'll still show you if they're posting on Instagram. It'll show you how many posts. If they have 1 post, I'm not going to request that person. They're probably never going to see it. They're not on Instagram. But if I see they have, you know, 10,000 posts, and, you know, they're a mom of 2 from Miami, and they love cats or whatever it might be, I'm like, oh, this is my kind of person. I'll request to follow them. If they accept it, they accept it. If they don't, they don't. So go to those people, like, comment, and follow. Make sure you're engaging with them. It really serves no purpose to just go through and follow people if you're not engaging with them. So I don't suggest doing mass following. It'll also throw down your ratings in the algorithm if you just start following tons of people at a time. So I suggest just finding like 3 or 4 more people a day and adding them and engaging with them. And it gives you time to go through and follow up and you know, comment on their stories and get to know them a little bit better. Which leads me to make your page inviting. All of the things that we kind of went over, bringing it back together. As you make new connections and you're following these people and you're commenting on their stuff, they're going to be like, who is this Tara's Fit Mom? Let me go to her page. And they're going to click on it. Is my page now inviting to them? First of all, is it public? Can they see what I have to offer? Does it look appealing? Because they're not going to want to follow a page where every single picture is my watch, or, you know, my workout watch, or every single picture is a picture of my Shakeology cup. They're not going to want to follow things like that. So are they going to want to follow it? Are they going to see value if they follow my page? Give your audience an opportunity to connect with you in multiple different ways. Give them posts that are engaging, that they can connect back with you. Give them stories that they can relate to, that they can connect back with you. Just like I was saying, when you're following these people, you want to follow people that are actually active on Instagram so you can engage with them. You want to give them opportunities to engage with you as well. Let them know you're available. In your stories, be like, hey, DM me if you XYZ. Let them know how they can reach you. Be friendly on Instagram. A lot of times people want to do this whole attraction marketing and use Instagram as a way of attracting people. But if you don't actually go and engage with other people and have outgoing conversations, you're not going to have any incoming conversations. And that is a fact. So if you're not friendly and commenting and liking and engaging on people's stuff, why should they come back and do the same for you? Okay. Another tip that we usually cover in our power hours is oftentimes when you open Instagram, the people that you see the first and the stories that you see the first are going to be the people that you engage with the most. They're typically on mine. When I open up my Instagram, it's all of you guys. It's all my people that pop up first. A tip that I give, scroll back in the stories, like just go, like instead of scrolling up like we do, scroll sideways in the stories to the people that you don't engage with that much, and remember to engage on those people's stories there. But outgoing conversations is what generates incoming conversations.
It's not, he's fine, he's easy.
I don't know who is. I don't know who it is. Okay. Call to actions. So there's multiple ways to give call to actions on your social media. There's what's called a hard call to action and a soft call to action. A hard call to action is very specific what you're looking for and what is in it for them. So here's an example that I gave. This was one of, I think I just did for MBF. It's telling them, I'm looking for people that, that are ready to go through this summer boot camp. You need a desire to change, a desire for more, a desire to live healthy and happy. Everything else is included. And I listed 6 weeks of workouts. I don't go into details of MBF. I don't go into details of our specific nutrition programs. I just let them know you're going to get your workouts. You're going to get your meal plans. You're going to get your support. You're going to get supplements. I like to not brand Beachbody as much as possible and keep the branding on myself. Why? Beachbody does its own branding. It already has marketing. They have money aside for marketing and everything along those lines. Secondly, I want people to ask me, what is this program? If I tell them I'm doing MBF, they're going to go Google MBF and possibly even sign up on their own because they're going to think they don't need a coach. So I try to keep a lot of the Google terms out of my descriptions, and just kind of explain what it is, what they're getting. I love giving them a sense of urgency, telling them it starts Monday, or I only have so many spots left. It gives people a sense of urgency to reach out to you. And then everything else that I don't include here, I discuss with them in private conversations. So this is a very specific call to action. I'm saying who I'm looking for, and I'm saying what they're going to get out of it. And I'm telling them, click the link in the bio to reserve your spot. I'm telling them where to go to get more information. You can put DM me, you can put whatever it is there, but I'm giving them all the information there and their steps of what to do. And I'm creating a sense of urgency with the time. Soft invites or gentle public invites are kind of what I do in the stories. I'll post my workout picture and I'll just be like, 5 more days till we start our boot camp. Join me now. Usually ends with a DM me, message me, let's chat. These are soft invites. Or I'll share my story of losing weight, and then I'm at the very end, and the whole thing is about me losing weight and how I overcame it. And then at the very end, I'll say, if you want more information, join me. That's a very soft invite. You're not going to get as much responses back as you might for specific invites. These soft invites, you need to direct them to your very specific call to actions. So, in my stories, I might say, oh, my boot camp is starting on Monday. You want more information? And then I'll share the post to my call to action. We have on Instagram what's called a top 9. When people open up your Instagram, they're only going to see the top 9 photos. In those 9 photos, you want a call to action. And most often than not, you want some sort of before and after picture in there so people know you're serious. It doesn't have to be your before and after picture. You could share your team's before and after picture. You could share, Beachbody even gives us before and afters. But you want to have those things in your top 9, the call to actions and what it is, that they can be expecting from their results. Other things behind the scenes, conversations with real people, chatting about Beachbody and non-Beachbody. This is the most important activity. It takes 10 conversations with people before they sign up. So don't feel defeated when you invite somebody to your challenge group and the first time they tell you no, because you still need to have 10 more conversations with them. There is fortune in the follow-up. A lot of times we get ghosted. People don't respond. A lot of times it's not intentional. How many times are you in the middle of something and a message pops up and you accidentally open it and you're like, I don't have time for this, and you close it? Okay, so it happens all the time. I follow up a few days later with people with that opening of, hey, I know life is crazy, and sometimes I open my messages and forget to respond, because quite honestly, it happens to me like 10 times a day. So the conversations are where it really happens, and you can direct them back to those call to actions. You can use those call to actions as follow-ups. Hey, Susie, I know we spoke last month about my boot camp and it wasn't a good time. I don't know if you just saw, I just dropped my next boot camp starting. Are you interested? Do you want more information? Whatever it might be. Those are the behind the scenes conversations. Like I said, follow-ups, direct messages, voice messages are great. Just sending a quick little chat to people, you can get more information over to them. They don't have to actually stop what they're doing to read something. They could be in the car and they can listen to it. You can follow up via text. You can follow up via emails. But you want to make sure that you have those call to actions. Let me close this out. And that is all I have for you guys tonight. I'm going to figure out how to stop share. I'm going to stop recording and take some questions.